Armando, this ruling coming after the Supreme Court lifted that order that blocked removals under the Alien Enemies Act. So just sort of break down what this all means.
Yeah, Kira, the judge essentially said that the Trump administration is barred from detaining and deporting migrants under the Alien Enemies Act throughout the Southern District of Texas. I want to read you part of the ruling here because I think it's very notable. He said that the president cannot summarily declare that a foreign nation or government has threatened or perpetrated an invasion or predatory incursion of the United States. Judge Rodriguez today is actually the first judge to actually rule on the merits of the act and essentially tell the administration that they are unlawfully invoking this act, which allows them under wartime and times of invasion to deport migrants with little to no due process. Now, while other judges have certainly paused some of these deportations on an emergency basis, no one yet, as of today, or until today, I should say, has ruled on the merits of this. So this is certainly headed for a Supreme Court showdown, Kira.
Oh, indeed. And Frank, does the fact that this came from a Trump-appointed judge say anything to you here?
Well, I think it speaks to the boldness of the administration's efforts here. It really goes far beyond anything we've seen where, the facts of on the ground are sort of how being twisted, really beyond, recognition. And so it's encouraging to see that even Trump appointees are recognizing that, hey, what there's there's no there. And so, with regards to the Supreme Court, they've already spoken on this issue as well. So it's encouraging to see that, fortunately, the courts are seeing beyond the show that the president is putting forward.
Frank, while I have you, can we talk about the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, please? The president actually told my co-anchor, Terry Moran, during his exclusive interview on Tuesday that he could have Abrego Garcia return to the U.S., but the fact is he hasn't. Is he openly defying court orders, and could that, be used against the president legally?
Well, I think that's what's frightening about the situation. I was born in Venezuela, so I'm very familiar with what happens when an executive decides he doesn't want to follow what courts say. The Supreme Court has been very clear on this. They said effectuate his return. And, there was an appeal to the circuit courts where the courts also confirmed and said, effectuate means do something. While the government has been coming forward in the court claiming that they don't have the ability, or the president of El Salvador, that they can't force them what to do, the president's acknowledgement sort of, makes it clear that there is a contempt of the court and more shockingly of the Supreme Court's, order. I've been practicing for 17 years. Usually lawyers are, concerned, and you want to be completely transparent with the court in every situation that you come forward. And it's just shocking to see that the president is making his lawyers come to court and give the courts a runaround. And it's scary. It is concerning because obviously, we depend, the Constitution depends upon a functioning court and an executive who respects that authority for our country to be governed by laws.
Frank, Armando, thanks, guys. We'll stay on the story.